Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Welcome to Life and Vedanta. As the topic is Life and Vedanta, what we want in life is peace, is prosperity, is happiness. This is what Vedanta is indicated, that until and unless there is peace, prosperity and happiness cannot be got. How? Let us understand this today by understanding the Shanti mantras which we chant every session before and at the end of the session. These are the mantras from different Vedas, the 4 different Vedas: Rig, Sam, Yajush and Atharva Veda. We are using the Yajur Veda mantra Sahana Vavatu. It is probably the most popular Shanti mantra used across all the fields of studies. Why studies? It can be applied into any situation. As we go studying further, we will explain this aspect, how this mantra can be applied for all kind of situations. However, coming back to the word Shanti and mantra. So before we explain what Shanti mantra is, shall we chant it once? Kindly join me. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. What does Shanti mean? The first word Shanti, it means very simple. It means we should not be disturbed. That where there is no disturbances. Really, that's simple. Yes, Shanti means peace, completely peacefulness. That means where there is no disturbances, only peace can be there. What are the sources of disturbances you're talking about? This is a very important question. So, when we want to focus our mind and there is a disturbances, that means the disturbance comes only in the mind. Therefore, the second word of the whole thing is called Shanti mantra. Mantras are done in the mind. Therefore, when we do mantra, when we do thinking, that is mantra. Yes, therefore, when your mind is disturbed, what gets disturbed? The thought flow gets disturbed. Therefore, Gurudev has said once that the mind is a continuous flow of thoughts. So that this continuous flow of thoughts don't get disturbed, Shanti is required. And the 3 different sources from where the disturbances come or emerge are called Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika and Adhyatmika. Let me explain. Adi Daivika means that source of disturbance which is very, very far away from us, upon whom our control is nil, 0, where there is no way that we can control or have some kind of control over it. What is that source called? Say nature. In our case, we are sitting inside this room and the sun outside is bright and beautiful, we are studying, but suddenly the nature says no, there has to be rain, and the clouds come, it makes a lot of noise, lot of thunder. What happens? Electricity goes away and the room turns into darkness. Suddenly our study has been disturbed. But even before the light went, as soon as the thunder comes or the rain comes, your mind for a moment gets distracted Why moment? For a very long time the mind can keep thinking, why is it raining? Is it going to be once again a very heavy rain where everything is going to be underwater? Or many other such things. Therefore, the first disturbance that comes to the mind, could come to the mind, is a faraway source which is not in our control, and that source is called Adi Daivika. The second source could be Adi Bhautika. Bhautika means which is something surrounding us. What is that thing can disturb us which is surrounding us? Tens and thousands of things. Everything that is there inside this place could disturb. Somebody could come and ring the bell. Suddenly, as we said, the light would go. Suddenly something would fall. Any and everything that is around you, it can create a disturbance and your mind can just go to it. Why it should fall or anything? You've kept a beautiful vase. While you're studying, suddenly your mind shifts the focus from the study to the vase and the beautiful flowers into, and the mind can just run away. Therefore, the second kind of disturbance that comes to the mind is the surrounding disturbance. And the third and the most important disturbance that can arise in the mind is by the mind alone, Adhyatmika. While you want your mind to focus on a particular thought, on a particular string of thoughts, suddenly it goes to its own thoughts and your complete study gets disturbed. These are the three disturbances from which we lose the Shanti of the mind. Why do we need Shanti to think? You're right. We come from India, from Mumbai especially. There is so much of noise in Mumbai that hardly there will be any time in the entire 24 hours that you will not hear some honking or some car or something. So as such, complete silence or peace, it is very difficult. Then one may ask, how do the people of India, Mumbai focus? Do they never focus? No, they do focus, but they have to put so much extra effort in that focusing that it is probably they are not 100% focused on what they are supposed to do. Or even if they are focused very much and the results that they come could have been much better if they were in a place, in an environment which it was absolutely silent. So when there is Shanti, what we say, it is peace. But how your mind will be peaceful? When the mind is focused. And only when the mind is focused, that mind is called a blissful mind. And do you know what? The essence of all studies of Shastra is only one. To reach from the state of this disturbed mind to the blissful mind is the essence of the study. The natural question that comes in the mind is, how do we achieve this Shanti? Therefore, the Shanti mantra. The Shanti mantra means that only. What does it mean? It means by doing this, your mind will be prepared in the state of Shanti so that you can move ahead and study and achieve the goal and enjoy the goal that you have just achieved. As we said, that there are some disturbances which you cannot handle. They are going to be there. For such disturbances, say the prayer. Om. To the far away disturbances where you have no control. Because the Shastras have said that entire universe is called the Brahmanda. And this little self of yourself is called the Pindanda. As that is in Brahmanda, is in the Pindanda. As it is in the Pindanda, is in the Brahmanda. So when you chant Om within, that peace, that Shanti which is derived of that Om also reaches there. When there it is peaceful, it becomes peaceful here. This is how the Adi Daivika has to be pacified. The second, Adi Bhautika. This is not rocket science. Shastra says, have a minimalistic living style. Have less in your life. The lesser the things that you have, the lesser the mind will get disturbed. And this we have already spoken. The mind gets fragmented as you take it outside in the world. The more the mind is outwardly, it is more and more fragmented. The more the mind is focused within, it is single pointed. And ekagrata, single pointed focus is what we require for the mind to become efficient and fast. Finally, the last, Adhyatmika, or the disturbance that arises in the mind. How to solve that problem? The answer is by focusing the mind on the higher. When the mind is focused on the higher, the consciousness, the self, what happens is it becomes single pointed. Why? Because even the mind naturally wants a continuous flow of thought. Therefore, when you start focusing on the higher, your life becomes higher. And therefore, they say that even if your lifestyle is not much, but your way of living should be high. The way of living in your life should be simple living and high thinking. And this is what Shanti Mantra teaches us. Further, now we move into the Shanti Mantra, Sahana Vavatu. Sahana Vavatu. Now what happens over here is, the prayer is an invocation. An invocation is something which you have to invoke that feeling. How can you sing an invocation without invoking the feeling? Therefore, what is the feeling, the bhava, when you pray or you make this invocation? The bhava is of surrender. You close your eyes and you say these words. O Lord Almighty, may you protect us together. That means it is not only about your protection, it is a protection about somebody else also. Yes, it is. In our situation, we are talking about the Guru and Shishya. So there are two. It's a pair. Therefore, we are requesting that Almighty to give us protection from these three disturbances together. This also indicates something else. Always in our life, whenever, wherever, and in whatever situation we are in, if we think of the protection, if we think of the other first before us, and we make all possible efforts to get that other person protection and happiness, peace, what happens to you? You automatically gain them. The second word of the same sentence is Sahano Bhunaktu. It says that may He make us enjoy together. Now, enjoy means what? In our situation, we are studying. When we sit to study, of course, the study itself is enjoyable. But the result of the study that we both are hoping to achieve, don't you think that we should be able to complete our study, and that fruits, the results of the study, we should be able to enjoy? Exactly. This is that enjoyment, the enjoyment of fulfillment, enjoyment of bliss, that may that Lord make us enjoy that bliss together. Sahaviryam karavavahe. That means it's a study between the two. So both have to put the effort together. The student has to be respectful and in a state of mind where he is wanting to study. He must be a seeker. A teacher, the guru, must be a person who is willing to teach and has infinite amount of patience, so that the mistakes of the students may not be taken into heart, and the teacher again and again explains the right formula, the right meaning of the things. When these two are together, on one side the student having love and respect and reverence, on the other side the master has the patience, the inclination and willingness to teach, then in this environment alone the knowledge transfer takes place. Many a times you may have seen that the teacher and the student have no sync. When there is no sync, something else happens. Knowledge transfer doesn't take place. It is not any more education, but it is something else. Therefore, in the Shanti mantra, it is made very clear to the teacher as well as the student that they have to work together as one unit. They have to put their virya together in the same direction. Next, going ahead, Tejasvina adhitamastu. Now, adhitam literally means study, to understand. How our study should be, how should we understand? With complete brilliance. You cannot study in a dull mental state. Your study has to be in the state of your mind when it is at its brilliant most. Only then the essence of what is being studied can the mind be grasping. Otherwise, there are so many things that are spoken while the study is going on, while the knowledge transfer takes place. If the mind is dull, the mind will not be able to grasp the essential aspects of the study. Therefore, Tejasvina adhita, you have to study adhitam with Tejasvi. And then finally, the most beautiful of the entire thing is Ma Vidvishavahai. Means what? It means this, at this point in time, let there be no arguments. Arguments, yes. A study in Shastra, Samvad, it's a dialogue. It is not Vivad, argument. Means, does that mean the student has no opportunity to ask questions? Asking questions is the most important thing of this study, because the entire study system of Shastra is based on the student inquiring and the teacher answering. But this has to be in an environment of love and affection, not in argument. Meaning what? The student has to understand that he is a seeker and the Guru is the giver. So if you are the seeker, if the student is the seeker, then the student should receive the knowledge with humility, with love. And the giver who is imparting the knowledge should impart the knowledge with a lot of love and compassion. These are the two ingredients which are very important. If these two ingredients, love and respect, love and compassion, are there, then what happens is there is no clash between the student and teacher. There is always a dialogue, and only in a state of dialogue that all our differences, all our misunderstandings can be cleared. Not in a state of argumentative, questioning answer. There should be no competition. There is no competition. There has to be love and affection. And this is why the last sentence of this entire prayer says, Ma vidvishavahai. May we not have any disputes with each other. So, how beautifully the Shanti mantra is created, that it covers all the aspects of transfer of knowledge. I told this before, that this mantra, Sahana Bhavatu, can be applicable not only to student and teacher, but to any two people pair in the entire universe, wherever they may be, whatever business that they may want. Maybe it is husband and wife. Maybe it is two partners in business. Maybe it is one corporation with other corporation. It could be any situation that you may think where there are two involved. The first thing what the prayer says is, what is the invocation? What is that you have to invoke in yourself? Humility. When there is humility to begin with, the result will be knowledge. The result will be only blissful gain. Second, how do they move forward? They both come together and they invoke from that Almighty protection for both of them. Means everything is balanced equally for both. Moving ahead, they say, after the project that we have taken is complete, after the business that we are about to begin, when it is complete, the results thereof, we shall enjoy it together. You see, there has to be this clear understanding that the work has to be done together. That means the results also should be enjoyed together. If you apply these two aspects to any business of yours, two things are immediately removed here. One, greed is removed. Second, since greed is not there, there is no need to fear. In today's work, in today's world, why do nations fight? Why do two companies fight? Why do two brothers fight? A couple fight, a husband and wife? For two reasons. One, selfishness, greed, for me, for myself. And second, because there is greed, there is also fear. Because if you feel that you want to have everything, you may have the same thought that the other person may want everything. Always, greed is immediately attached with fear. Therefore, fear and greed is removed in the beginning itself. Then, what is the rest of the mantra saying? That let us do things with full of our mental awareness and attention. And what to do? We must put our best step forward and work together. Finally, that let us not have any dispute, because instead of having any dispute, let us have a dialogue, a Guru Shishya Samvad. In the same way, you can have a dialogue with any person you are working with a peaceful mind, with a peaceful demeanor, with this attitude that you are not here to take something extra from you, but you are here to impart, or you are here to give equal to that person and to you. In this way, if you put this prayer in front of any situation, any good work that you are about to begin, when you start with this thought process, when you explain this thought process to the other person, it will be a sure success. Once the minds have met, there is no trouble in the world. The mantra concludes with the triple Shanti, and we have already spoken about the triple Shanti before. Therefore, shall we once again chant this entire mantra, ending with the Shanti? This time I am going to sing it slightly slowly so that you can also chant with me or after me. Kindly join me. Sahana vavatu, sahanam bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Let us end this beautiful session with the Shanti mantra. Kindly join me. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।